Today we're going to talk about why tactically and practically it is easier than ever for you to succeed in business, and not just succeed, but to succeed in a very big way if you want to. For a lot of people, going to the dentist is not necessarily a fun time, like look forward to it or anything. I was pretty neutral about the whole thing. I used to have braces when I was a kid, and that was pretty annoying to have to go. So I kind of got used to just having an orthodontist or a dentist. I'm working a lot, just like you probably watching this video, you want to stay focused on what's important to you, and what's important to me is working with our team, constantly being focused, because time is of the essence. Time is the most valuable thing. And so leaving my home office to go out to a dentist or a doctor or any place, I want to consolidate my time. Part of the problem, though, right off the bat, is that when you go to an American, USA-based dentist, and everyone who's in the USA will know exactly what I'm talking about for the most part when I say this, you go to the dentist, and just like a lot of other doctors or specialists today, they want to perform a lot of useless procedures and tests or whatever. They just want to maximize profit, maximize revenue, because they know that insurance or whatever will pay for it. The useless procedure in this case was that I knew I had a couple of cavities that I just wanted to get taken care of. Pretty basic stuff. And I already had x-rays done previously at another place. So called in advance. They said, "Oh, we're going to have to do the other x-rays." We said, "Can you just get them from the other place?" They were kind of wishy-washy. There was obviously no incentive for them to want to get the x-rays from the other place. If anything, they would lose money by doing that. "Oh, no, we prefer to get them here." I was like, "But they're recent. This is another accredited dentist." No, they wouldn't do it. So we go there. I go there. They had to take the x-rays again. But they had said on the phone, "Yeah, we might be able to take care of, some of it or all of it in terms doing the cavity same day." Great. That was the main thing that I wanted. You want to milk me for extra money for the x-rays? It's annoying. I just want to get it done. Fine. I want to get it over with, get it done. So I go, "Oh no, we're just going to do the x-rays and find what we already know is obvious. And then you have to come back." So I do that. I didn't really get a great vibe initially when I walked in. There were just certain things that were disorganized. I walk in and, one of the staff members is wearing a nose ring. And, people can do what they want. It's a free country. But in an office, typically in the past, tattoos are covered up, nose rings, not considered professional. They're distracting from a more professional, predictable, organized environment, which is what customers and patients look for. You go to a McDonald's in Idaho, you go to McDonald's in New York, it's generally the same experience. It's consistent, everyone's uniformed, and you can order more or less the same thing and at the same level of quality of overall experience and end product. So anyway, against my better judgment, I come back for adjusting the cavities, and there are two of them. And I race to get there. I am 8 minutes late. My fault on that. But I get there 8 minutes, okay? And so as I'm sitting down, they're prepping me. I'm making small talk. I'm being nice. I'm like, "Hey, can we get this done today?" And the dentist comes in, doesn't say hello, doesn't use my name, no greeting or anything. The guy's about to basically do minor surgery, if you want to call it that, inside of my mouth. But okay. And he goes to say, "No, I'm just going to do my best, and you might have to come back." And I said, "Look, I run a business. Can we just get this taken care of today?" Same answer. And then he accused me of missing an appointment, which was false. And I demonstrated that to him, and I even confirmed with the staff on the way out the door, because I said, "This is bullshit." And I got up, got my phone, got my wallet, and walked out. They hadn't really started. They just kind of put like little numbing swab or whatever in the mouth. And I took it out. I was like, "No, I reject this." Objectively, there were indicators that I just did not feel comfortable with as a patient about to have sharp things put into my mouth to take care of something related to just general long-term well-being and health. So I walked out. The relevance of this example to you and to your business and to entrepreneurship and to marketing is because it is a simple and a prime example of where business is at today and why it is so unbelievably easy to succeed. You can call up any business today. You can go to any store, any local service company, maybe that will come like work, do maintenance on your home, whatever. And mediocrity is the rule, okay? The rule, not the exception. I mean, even at this dentist office, just the presentation of the owner, the dentist himself, he was unkempt. He was also obese. And that's not against anything personal against anyone who has a weight problem. But I guarantee you, anyone who has a weight problem, you ask them, hey, can you wave a magic wand? And would you prefer to be in control of your weight? They would all say yes. But still, in the context of business and someone who's about to do some minor surgery in my mouth that has implications for long-term health, I'm going to use my power of observation and judgment along with the other indicators as a patient slash customer of this business. And you can guarantee that other patients are doing the same. The fact that, like I mentioned, he was unkempt, like his hair was kind of odd and a little bit messy, the dentist. And I looked up, is there a correlation between IQ and conscientiousness? Is there a correlation between IQ and exercise? Is there a correlation between weight and conscientiousness? One quote from ChatGPT-4 suggests, research suggests there is a significant correlation between conscientiousness and body weight. Conscientiousness, one of the big 5 personality traits, is associated with being disciplined, organized, and mindful of details. Individuals who score higher on conscientiousness tend to have lower body weight and body mass index, or BMI. It makes sense, right? It makes sense. I had a friend growing up. He was 50 pounds overweight. We were in high school and middle school, close friends. We worked out together, and we had this very rigorous, disciplined exercise regimen, and we got in shape, and he lost 50 pounds in a matter of weeks, changed his life, and in general, he just had a lot more opportunities professionally come his way. He actually became a fitness trainer and started his own personal brand. Getting back to the point here and the significance of this example, again, call up any store, any local service company, and you're going to find that mediocrity is the rule. It is not the exception. It is very easy to call a service business, and you can even kind of hear it on the phone, maybe in terms of like lack of knowledge, lack of anticipating just general FAQs, lack of setting expectations for how the job is going to be done. And even you look at 5-star reviewed companies, it's not that difficult to engineer 5 stars in business. I mean, there are entire companies that solve this problem of, review management. I was actually just talking to an entrepreneur the other day who was starting a productized service related to this. It's a painful problem because, for some businesses, they're not collecting any reviews. For others, they're getting a lot of reviews, and some of them might be negative and they need to respond to them, right? To manage their reputation. Even for so-called 5-star businesses, 4.7, 4.9, 4.8, mediocrity is still the rule. And a big part of that is the incentive. The incentive for this dentist is, okay, I'm going to hang up my shingle, meaning I'm going to open up my shop because I'm a dentist and there's just a general need within the market. And because of just, you kind of don't know exactly what experience you're going to get until you go there. And also the reviews, they have a system for collecting reviews. And I think, honestly, it trains the population in whatever your country is in. We can be trained to expect less. And that's very unfortunate. But it also presents a huge opportunity for you to succeed at a much bigger level. One more example. Even huge corporate juggernauts, Dell, okay, and Alienware, for example, ever heard of it? So Dell purchased Alienware some years ago. They have a really great brand for selling laptops and just gaming rigs in general, full built out computer consoles with high-end graphics cards and whatnot. All the bells and whistles to make an amazing piece of hardware that can oftentimes, run games and just run very fast for work as well. In 2022, I decided to invest in an Alienware laptop for a couple of reasons. Number one, I had the money to invest. I saw it as a business investment. I wanted a high-end laptop for work because my other MacBook was, the battery was starting to go. Also for AI, I wanted a laptop with a high-end graphics card. Also, I was going to, at the time, play some virtual reality games because I had gotten the Valve Index and I wanted to play Half-Life Alyx. And yet, I like the idea of games more than like playing, I guess. But anyway, This laptop cost all in nearly $4,000. And that's slightly before, inflation, in the US really started to compound. This was the most expensive piece of hardware or computer or laptop that I've ever purchased. And it was sold by what I thought was a reputable brand, Dell. I get the laptop and immediately I start noticing issues with it. First off, it took forever to deliver. Again, I guess we were coming off of, the pandemic and things were assembly coming from China, the factories. But I get the damn thing and it's working and it's fast. But then I start to notice, okay, that's weird. If I don't restart it for even just a day, the speakers they can't play certain frequencies of audio, which is really annoying because you can't use it for work or entertainment related to this. And then there were some other issues with it. And so I had to send it back for repair, got it back. They reassembled it, put a new battery, new speakers, same issue, no change. Okay. And I'd paid for the premium support as well. And I got the premium experience, which was talking to someone who, frequently trying to troubleshoot, did not know what they were doing at all. I took the damn thing apart myself while on the phone, still no improvement. So even corporate juggernauts like Dell, it's a mediocre product, especially for the amount spent. By comparison, Apple, a much more exceptional brand and exceptional company, purchased a MacBook Air a little while ago from them. Wonderful experience by comparison. I'm reminded of Nassim Taleb, his book Skin in the Game. I listened to it on audio when I was traveling and living in Medellin, Colombia in 2018. And in this book, Skin in the Game, it kind of stuck with me because, as the title implies, it's about economics and the incentives or lack of incentives that are in the equation in terms of doing business in certain situations and scenarios. And it could be outside of business too, but it's about how do incentives dictate behaviors and outcomes, whether those outcomes be good or bad, ideal or less than ideal. For example, he gave the example, a consultant that consults for another company, their incentive is to, provide advice, but they have no vested interest in the outcome, unlike the company who has to decide whether or not to implement what the consultants are saying. You have to do this. And it affects these companies and it affects the economy at large as well. But in general, you can look at a lot of different businesses in general in terms of how much skin in the game does each business actually have? Where are incentives misaligned in the short term and long term? So a lot of the bubbles that we've seen over the years in the economy, the most recent being in 2008, and other people are saying that we are in various forms of bubbles now. That's always the case. But in 2008, there was a housing market and stock market crash. The incentives were misaligned. People who had poor credit and could not repay loans were being given loans to purchase one or multiple homes in many cases. This quote, though, I think is relevant in terms of how to become exceptional in business in the context of having integrity and incentives and just making and seeing the opportunity of how easy it is for you to succeed. So he said, quote, "The curse of modernity is that we are increasingly populated by a class of people who are better at explaining than understanding, or better at explaining than doing." Put another way, he also said, "Those who talk should do, and only those who do should talk." You see, in terms of social media, the incentives with social media is to get attention. Attention is a form of currency and clout and influence, which can be further monetized or conveyed as an incentive by itself of status. And people who have not accomplished anything or even, just put their hands into the mud of life or business, it's everywhere constantly and even succeeded at doing it, but with a lack of transparency are giving advice, which you should rightly be skeptical of. It's a perverse incentive. Okay, it's a perverse incentive and the outcomes are quite predictable. But issues like this create opportunity for you. It creates an incentive for you to be more skeptical, for you to think more for yourself, and frankly, to spend less time on those platforms, on social media, on just listening to others in general, all right, and figuring it out on your own and or only taking tips and advice and insights from people who you believe and have evaluated to be credible, having had their hands in the mud, all right, having built something, having achieved what it is, whatever you're looking to achieve in your professional or even personal life. There's a crisis of competence in the world, and it's partly due to incentives. One of the other incentives, and it seeps into business as well, although I think things maybe are shifting in a more positive direction, and this is not a political statement because you can apply what I'm about to say to both sides, not just personally, but also professionally. Many companies have felt that there's a need to virtue signal, but it does and continues to come at the long-term expense of the company's growth and well-being and retaining certain key talent. Over the long term, again, it creates a hole in the market, and that hole or door is your opportunity in whatever industry you might be in. Virtue signaling, status games, kind of just looking to accumulate fake clout, misaligned profit incentives like, okay, like let's get this useless x-ray, let's forget about the fact that x-rays are, let's forget the fact that, okay, the patient's already coming with existing x-rays, but we just want to milk every dollar that we can, and that's in many doctors' offices, many specialists, many hospitals. So you can be part of the solution, all right? You want to engineer a business that is exceptional. You want to be the exception. As Nassim Taleb also wrote in Skin in the Game, quote, "Courage is the only virtue you cannot fake." And so you simply have to decide for yourself that integrity is a word that means something to you in your business. It means something to you, and it is something that you can deliberately profit from, okay? Decide that integrity means something, and decide that you are going to be aware and conscientious about the incentives that are within your business. If and when your business does become very successful, it's going to move beyond just you. And so it will be other people responding to the incentives. So whereas you might be virtuous and making decisions out of integrity, despite incentives being just slightly misaligned, for other people, when they take over the business or they're making decisions without you, they might start over time. Systems generally move towards wherever the incentive is at, and that's how we get bubbles in terms of economies. So be conscientious of what incentives you set up for yourself. As a business owner, you get to decide how you sculpt the game to an extent, okay? So if you work on commission in terms of, okay, I'm going to come into your business and I'm going to do this and I'm promising this, and therefore I want you to pay me for results. This would be a good way to go about it, to work on commission. Imagine if we had a healthcare system that was aligned closer with positive health outcomes. And I hope that we move towards that world in the future. How can you actually do this practically and tactically speaking? So I'll tell you how I'm doing my part and how you can do yours. And it starts with small, simple decisions just throughout your everyday. The decision simply to do what you say. Be aware of what you say every day and do it. For example, if you say that you have an appointment at a certain time, show up at that time. Show up at that time. And if you're like me, where time just kind of gets away from you sometimes, or you get distracted, make sure to set the time earlier. 5 minutes earlier, okay, you're going to be 5 minutes late. Great. Congratulations, you're on time. Do what you say. Show up at the time that you say you will show up at. Keep your promises in general. And not only in your professional life, but in your personal too, because this will help you to forge a consistent character. For Grobo, for me, for my team, I made a promise to our customers, our early access customers, that we would deliver the products that we have today, but with 3 integrations. And so as I've started doing customer demos, I have made it clear to customers, hey, we're going to give you some free credits to start using it. All I ask is for some feedback in return to make it just an amazing and more valuable experience for you to help you grow your business. But I'm not charging you because per the demo that I put out and what the vision that you invested in, it included 3 initial integrations: WordPress, ActiveCampaign, and search engines for the AI agents to integrate with and be able to use kind of like third-party tools. That's what we're doing. It's as simple as that. We will not be charging customers until those integrations are in place. So I hope that you found this video valuable. I hope that you incorporate this mindset and this perspective into your own, because it is true and it is good. Speaking of incentives, there is a strong incentive for you to do it, because if you simply care about these ideas, these ideals, it is so easy to stand out from your competitors. It is so easy to succeed in business today. Thank you. I hope you found this valuable. And if you did, please consider liking the video, leave a comment. I love to hear your feedback. Any questions or ideas for future videos are also welcome. And please share this video with others. It is support from viewers like you who help this channel and our brand in general to grow. And if you'd like to learn more about how you can accelerate the growth of your company with AI, check out grobo.com. We are launching the Grobo platform right now. It's all about AI agents and giving you a platform to automate your business growth with AI agents and workflows that the agents work within in a structured, predictable way. Grobo.com. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video.